What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this design. It's honestly really simple. I think everyone with any bit of graphic design experience should be able to do this. There's really nothing super complicated about it. So first things first, I want to shout out Nick Arley. Great designer, obviously, look at all those. But he makes all sorts of cool stuff. Really kind of a grungy look to everything. So I'd go check him out, and he was the inspiration for this, with the LeBron James right here. So let's get into it. First up, file new, Instagram portrait. I like to design right for Instagram because that's the only place I'm going to use these. And especially when I'm doing like freelance stuff or stuff for fun or just messing around, I'm not going to have the highest quality photos in the world. So it's just easier to go with this smaller size. So this is the sizing. You can do it with whatever size you want, but make it a portrait. So great. So we got this. Let's start off with the little window shape in the background. So I use the pen tool for this. Let's zoom out. It's because you're going to want to zoom out. You don't really need to align it where you want it to be. We can resize it and move it around later, but it wouldn't hurt to kind of get it in the ballpark. So I'm going to hold Shift as I click. That's going to make a straight line. Pro tip, it's going to make a straight line if you hold Shift and click. So Shift and click, straight line, Shift and click again, kind of up here somewhere. All right, so make a triangle. Now we're going to go down here onto our first point. You're going to see a little circle there next to the pen tool, and that just means you're completing the shape. So we're going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag it. This is why we zoomed out, so I got more room to drag here. I think that looks all right. You can kind of do whatever shape. Just leave some space up here for some text. So let's align this now. I had it pretty close to the edge, so that's how I'm gonna align it here. You can get out the rulers and look for stuff, but just for the sake of this tutorial and speed, I'm just gonna kind of, that looks pretty close. Looks good enough. Good enough for me. So let's just do something to the shape real quick. Fill, make it, well, you don't really need to change it. I'll make it black just because. And then stroke, I'm gonna add a 1 pixel black stroke to the outside. Real subtle. So now we have this. Let's get our person in here. So for this, I just Googled his name. If your person's well known enough, you can just like Google, like if you're doing LeBron James, you can just Google them. I'm sure you'll find a picture that's good enough. If you're just learning, you can use copyrighted stuff. If you're gonna be like making money off of this, obviously, I think even if you just post it somewhere, you're not really allowed to use copyrighted photos. But for education, like if you're in school and you're doing this for a class, you can use copyrighted stuff for education purposes. I don't know how that goes with just posting it for fun. I doubt that anyone would care a ton about it unless you're like really well known, but yeah. So just because we're learning, feel free to use one of these. I just Googled the guys. I'm sure you can find a good LeBron photo of him like with his arms crossed somewhere, or anyone. That they all have like Media Day photos somewhere. Let's see if we just search LeBron James Media Day. Perfect, yeah. So there you go. Take this. There are tons of tutorials on how to remove watermarks. You could just, look at that. Right there. There you go. That wouldn't work for this design probably, but easy. So I just Googled the guy, found a photo that I liked. You can also go on something like Unsplash or Pexels and just search like basketball, and you can find some decent photos. And these ones are free to use, I think. Can you use them commercially? Doesn't. Okay. Well, when you, I don't know, whatever. You can use these. So, there's some cool photos in here. So, anyways, so once you get your photo, I'm not really gonna go through cutting it out. You should know that. That's like a pretty key skill. But I use the quick selection tool. I just click select subject, and then it's like a rough outline. Then you got to do some fine tuning. If you don't know how to cut stuff out, then I would go watch some tutorials on that, because that is a pretty big skill to have. Good cutouts. So I'm just gonna drag him in here. I'm gonna align him with the bottom. It's okay if some of his, if it's like his arms and legs are kind of sticking out a little bit. I actually don't like how close that is, which is kind of annoying. But I do like his head kind of sticking out, which I think looks good right there. Creates a little bit of depth. So, as with every cutout, you're gonna want to put a camera raw filter on there. So just camera raw. I already put one on there, so I'm not gonna go through it. But I just, exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows. You just want to make it like contrasty, texture, clarity, dehaze. Just fiddle around with that. You're gonna always want to put that on there. And I always like to do a filter, sharpen, and that just kind of sharpens up kind of a lower quality photo. You can just sharpen it up to make it a little bit higher quality. And especially if, like, this is kind of a grungier look we're going for. So the sharpening, I might just leave it on there. You're gonna want like kind of a crispy looking photo. So boom. So we got him in there. Great. Let's make him black and white. Let's do that part here. So I'm gonna alt click. I did, by the way, I just did this little circle thing here. This is where all like your color filters and stuff are gonna be. And I just did black and white on him. So I'm gonna click alt in between the two layers. And now the black, you can't tell because there's no other color, but this layer will only appear on the layer below with a little arrow. So you can alt click in between them to release that as well, but obviously we want to keep it. So with the black and white selected, I'm going to press B on my keyboard, get the brush, and this is going to require a little bit of thought. This isn't going to work with everything, but because his jersey is white with some accents, this looks great. If his jersey was the inverse of this, with white text and like a gold, yellow, purple background, this would probably not look great. But do some thinking. This might not work with everyone, but it's a really cool effect to use. Maybe you could use the ball. It could be in color. I'm not sure, but this is gonna be kind of a case by case thing. If you're doing football, if they have a reflective colored visor, this looks really cool. So if you're doing a football photo, that could be a cool thing to do. But yeah, just do some thinking on this. So luckily his uniform is white, so I don't have to be super precise about it. I can just kind of brush over. In the shadows are kind of a weird color. There's like a little bit of a weird reflection going on there, but like normally I would be a little bit more precise. But just for this tutorial, I mean, close enough. I'm not gonna be super crazy about precision here, just speed. So there we go. Look at that. It's a masterpiece. So colors that tattoo. Yeah, it's just black and white. Okay. Anyways, done with that. Cool. So next, let's put something in our window. So for this, I googled where he's from. He's from Camden, New Jersey. Unfortunately, it seems like Camden is not the nicest place in the world. So I mean, props to him for growing up here and becoming the #1 player in the nation. But when I initially googled it, it was like this, what? In images, I was like, oh, let's see if this is cool. No, it's just like. So I didn't want to put really any of this in the background. This is not great. So I went to Google Maps and I was like, what's around this place? Oh, it's like basically Philadelphia. So maybe that's offensive to him. I guess, I don't know what to call him, a Philadelphian, whatever. So I just searched Philadelphia, not Philadelphia skyline. It's not Unsplash again, and I found this photo right here. So just gonna download it for free. So I'm just gonna drag it in here. But like, yeah, just find something unique about the city, like New York skyline, or like most little towns even have just like a cool like courthouse or city hall or something. So there's always something you could do in the background. So I'm gonna alt click between the layers, and now it's on there. So I wanted a little bit more contrast because I knew that this was just gonna be I knew it was gonna be kind of like a grungier feel. So I want it to be crispy, like I said before. So I'm gonna put a camera raw filter on here. Most of the time with photos in the background, I won't do this, but I'm going to this time. I just want it to be like really, really contrasty, because we're gonna put a filter on this anyways. So I wanted this to be like crazy, crazy contrast, and I'm gonna. Did I sharpen it? I think I did. I did. Yep. Okay. Filter sharpen. So there you go. Now it's really crisp. Let's do some color on it. So you want to match the color to his uniform. Little circle gradient map. And I want to alt click and put it just on that layer, and then click on the little thing here. And I just know, because I've already done this, that it's gonna look better to have the purple, the darker purple, over here. But you can always reverse it if you don't like how it looks. But I just know that this is the way. That looks pretty decent right there. There it is, look at it. And it's done. So, I mean, you can reverse it to the opposite. That looks like ass. So this looks better. So you can do whatever, just mess around with that. Gradient map, great tool to have. Let me see if it looks okay. I mean, that looks kind of cool too. See, there's like cool effects you can do with the gradient map on people. Like that looks kind of nice too. See, there's some cool stuff you can do. Gradient map is a great tool to have in your arsenal. So I'm just gonna put it back. Boom, background done. Let's put in some text here. So his name is DJ Wagner. For this design, it's gonna look better if the last name is long and the first name is a little bit shorter. If they're both kind of the same length and the first name is longer, it's not gonna look great. But you know, you can experiment. It looks best if it's kind of aligned with the shape in the background. Whoa. Just gonna eyeball it. Hello, my cat is bothering me. Oh, hello. Okay. So there, and then I'm just gonna, you can get out the ruler for this thing. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it though. Close enough. Wagner, oh, by the way, the font on this is Gunter's, by the way. Great font. I love it. And his first name is DJ. So DJ. The font I used on this is Autographia. Oh, I got Autographia. I used medium. I made it white. And we'll just put it over top. I'm holding shift, by the way, to get it to go in good intervals there. So I'm put it over the top. That looks kind of cool, honestly, but the design I did, I put a little stroke on there. Black stroke of 2 pixels. Boom. Text is done. It might be a little bit big. Let's do like a little bit smaller. Yeah, I like it. Okay, that looks good. I think that looks nice. So, text is done. Next, I put a little bit of text up in this corner here. So I'm just gonna make a little text box for it. I just did his name, DJ Wagner. Gotta make it smaller. I used that font Arial. I just wanted a nice, normal looking font. And I just found Arial right away. Didn't really do a ton of thought or anything, but boom, DJ Wagner. I think I capitalized the J. And then I put some stars. I just downloaded these off the internet. Didn't make my own stars. You can make your own, but it seemed like a lot of work at the time. Oops. Whoa. Alt click and drag. You can duplicate layers. So then I put like his high school. Just like put some stats, like height, weight, high school, some cool things he's done. I put #1 in the country, and I made these a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. and then I aligned them all. There you go. Pretty cool. So we're basically done. So let's tie everything together here. So I love to put film dust textures on everything. They're my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to put one on there. You can just search film dust textures and you can find pretty decent packs for free. This pack was not free, but you can find some pretty good ones for free. So I put it over everything but him, and just kind of scroll through. I like exclusion. I think that looks nice. That looks nice right there. And then I put a really, really subtle paper texture on the background. That just gives it a little bit more texture. So let me just stick it on there and put it in the back, but just like real subtle. Oh, bird just flew into my window. Oh, I hope it's okay. Okay, so just like a light texture. It's like very subtle, but I think it looks nice. So yeah, that's the design. I did do a little bit of experimentation, putting some noise. I just exposed my Slack right there. I don't know why. I am like crazy about having notifications. I experimented with that a little bit. You can decide to combine all the layers into one. Control Alt Shift E. That'll combine everything, and you can just like slap something over everything. So filter, add noise, Gaussian noise. You know, it looks. I can't decide if I like it or not. On the one hand, it kind of ties them together, but on the other hand, it kind of degrades the picture a little bit. See, I don't know. I don't know if I'm into it or not. The one I posted did not have it, but it looks kind of nice. You can decide on that one. And then I also put this whole thing on a black background because that is how I want it viewed. So on Instagram, the default theme is white, so it's not going to look as good. So that's why I put it on black for Instagram. But I think I left it just like this for everything else. Let me just look at this. Yeah, that's everything. It looks a little different. Color's a little bit lighter, but I mean, it looks nice. They both look nice. So, yeah, hope you guys like this tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments side. I'd love to help. So again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. If you have any designs that you've seen that you want me to try to recreate, drop them in the comments. And I'd love to take a look at them and see if I can figure them out. But yeah, hopefully this helped. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time.